Joined in the studio by GB News presenter Liam Halligan. Liam presents On the Money weekdays from 1 here in GB News. And yesterday, what he did was he launched a new campaign called Scrap the VAT. And he's here to tell us more because this was at one stage, was it not, a political promise, a manifesto promise by the Conservative Party?
Well, it certainly came up during the Brexit referendum, Eamonn, because when we're in the EU, we don't control our own rates of VAT. We have to have minimum rates of VAT. But now we're outside the EU, thanks to Boris Johnson and Michael Gove, two politicians who both stressed this during the referendum campaign. We can remove VAT on anything that we want to.
But
it's
we're
in our
broke.
gift.
The country's completely broke, so it's not going to happen, is it?
I think it might happen, actually. As you said, On the Money yesterday, we launched a campaign. When we started GB News, we said if it matters to you, it matters to us, to our viewers. Well, we got so many emails, Eamonn. I talk about energy prices on my show all the time. Emails such as this from Derek. How on earth are pensioners going to pay for the massive rise in fuel prices? Countless people are on lower state pensions. As a result, they are £42 a week worse off. This is government discrimination on a grand scale. Mark said, it's obvious we're all being forced to board the green agenda train, whether we like it or not. Jamie, who emailed us and then actually featured on our show yesterday. He came up as an interviewee. We invited him on. I'm a disabled pensioner. Mine and my wife's energy tariff doesn't change till April, but we're already paying £140 a month and in fuel poverty.
Liam, give us a window into the world of life without VAT. If you were to scrap the VAT, what would it be scrapped on and what sort of difference would it make to our day-to-day lives?
Well, we all know that since last summer, wholesale gas prices across the world have been spiralling upward. We've seen big increases in energy bills in the autumn. Ofgem, the energy regulator, raised the maximum price that households can be charged. So now the average household is paying £1,277 a year on their utilities, a huge increase. Eamonn, early next month, February the 7th, Ofgem's going to say what the new price cap is. We're expecting it to be over £2,000. That's £2,000 a year for an ordinary household.
Yeah.
That's up from 100 or so to about 170 quid a month. If you take the VAT off, it's not huge, but it's 5%. If you're paying £2,000 a year, you get 5% off. That's 100 quid. Better than a kick in the teeth.
The defence that Boris Johnson's using at the moment for not bringing this in is he says it's a blunt instrument and the people with the biggest homes who can most afford it and have the most expensive bills will actually stand to benefit from this. And he's been trying to wriggle out of it a little bit. Do you think that that is a justifiable argument?
There's something in that. On the other hand, £100 to a lower income family is worth a lot more than a saving to a higher income family. And also, there's ways you can do this. I wouldn't say, as some people argue, that you means test. You only give this VAT reduction to certain households. You have to identify them, go through all their income. It's very invasive. What you could do is say, if your bill is up to a certain amount, then you get your VAT scrapped. Because if you're paying a much higher bill, it's because you've got a much bigger house, you're much wealthier. So maybe the VAT increase, the VAT reduction shouldn't happen there. But I'm not saying this should happen forever. I'm saying this should be a temporary reprieve for a year where Liam, fuel prices are exceptionally high.
How would it happen at all, Liam? Who do you put pressure on? How can it come about?
Well, it can come about pretty easily, Eamonn. We launched our campaign yesterday. Today there's going to be a vote in Parliament on exactly this issue. Labour have chosen to use their opposition day today to put pressure on the government to debate specifically VAT on energy bills. And if they get enough support from the Tories, and when we launched our campaign yesterday, we had a studio with many Conservatives contributing, as well as Labour MPs as well, then they can force the government to do that. Downing Street this morning has admitted, we better get on the front foot on this issue. Well, they better.
Yeah, and as you say, GB News very much getting behind this campaign. People watching this at home will be cheering with delight, I'm sure, many of them all having to make these difficult decisions, as we've been hearing the famous phrase, choosing between eating and heating. What can people do if they want to put their weight behind this campaign as well?
Well, they can email us. I can read out their emails. We're inviting viewers onto the show. We can, by the magic of television, talk to them in their homes via just a simple computer. As you know, Isabel, we've been doing that. But what I'd say is this. Yes, Downing Street does need to get on the front foot. This is not ideal. A lot of people at home will be saying, but the green agenda means that adds 25% to our fuel bills because when we pay money for electricity and gas, that subsidises renewable energy. Boris Johnson isn't going to step away from the COP26 agenda in the next couple of weeks. It's not going to happen. He isn't going to reinvent geopolitics and tell Vladimir Putin to pump more gas to Western Europe. But he can, it is in his gift, to give ordinary households a leg up, take the VAT off these huge energy bills, which are scaring lots and lots of people.
Yeah, it's a really unhelpful narrative, isn't it, to almost set the green agenda against trying to...
That is not going to happen this side of summer, this side of next Christmas, in my personal view, Isabel. Some people may think differently. But what can he do now to help ordinary households? We've got a cost of living crisis coming in April. Everyone can see that. Tax rises are coming in. Inflation's going to hit 6%, maybe even 7%, and that's even according to the Bank of England. It could well be higher. And this energy price rise as Ofgem lifts the cap. So I think, personally, if the Prime Minister wants to show people that he understands the cost of living crisis, certainly a lot of those Tory MPs in those red wall seats, people need a leg up. And scrapping the VAT is a quick and easy way to signal and do that.
OK, Liam Halligan, as always, you are on the money. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.